Howard Shy wait, come to take the throne. To conquer world powers, bring Jacob home. I'm quarterbacking like Jake DeLome. Like Mount Rushmore, I gotta face a stone.
Line of soldiers in a war. What's going on, King? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Can I ask you something?
Yeah, what's up?
What's your ethnicity?
Black.
Black?
African-American, yes.
Black, African American. Okay. Now those are terms that were put upon us. You know, when our people came over here. Do you know what your people were called before slavery? You don't, do you? Do you believe in God? What God do you believe in? God of the Bible, the Quran? What you believe in?
Christianity, the Bible.
Christianity, the Bible. Okay, all praises. Let me show you why you can't really tell what you were called before slavery. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. Hold Deuteronomy 7:6, but get no, he's getting Jeremiah. What you getting?
Jeremiah 17.
You got it, bro. Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou self shalt discontinue from thy heritage.
Now, a heritage, that's something that we get from, like, you know, we inherit looks from our parents, you know, our mannerisms, the way we talk. You ever hear this? Oh, you look just like your daddy. You act just like your dad. These are things that we inherit from our parents. It's also going into a land, a place that we can go to, a culture, a religion. We don't know what we had when we got over here. Why? Because it was beaten out of us. So we were discontinued from our heritage. We don't.
And thou, even thyself, should discontinue from thy heritage. From thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
Now, the people, did we serve a group of people when our people got off them slave ships? We were servants to them, right? So people that we serve are classified as our enemies. We don't.
In the land which thou knowest not.
Did we know this land? No, we couldn't. Otherwise, we would have just dipped out the plantation and not returned. But we didn't know this place. We don't.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger.
It's because we made the Most High mad. Get Deuteronomy 28:15. So actually, 28:1 and then 15. That's what I want. Because essentially what's going on, what I'm trying to tell you, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We God chose people. You ever heard that before? You have not? See, I told you I was going to tell you something that's going to be the best thing in your life, man. You got it? Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it should come to pass,
Meaning it's going to happen.
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So if we don't listen to God, we don't.
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Are curses a good thing, King? No, they're not. Hold 28. Get 28. 68's a lot. But I want you to get 28:1. So this is what happens when we don't listen to God. Curses get put upon us, right? This is what happens if we listen. Get that.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
So if we listen to God,
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
are the black, Hispanic, and Native man on high, ruling above all nations, or are we looked at as the low and basement of society? So that tells you that we did what? We didn't listen to God, right? How did the so-called black man get here? Slave ships, right? What if I told you that was in the Bible? Prophesied thousands of years ago. Get that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So, what do you know about Moses in Egypt? Went up to Pharaoh, let my people go. Are you familiar with that story? Hey, brother, hold on. Real quick. Stay and listen to this real quick. This is about you, too. So Moses, he went into Egypt, said, let my people go, part of the Red Sea, and they walked out of Egypt, right? Now, what were the Israelites and Moses, well, Israelites in general, doing in Egypt? They were what? They were slaves. So, Egypt is synonymous with slavery and bondage. It comes from the Hebrew word matazara, meaning double straits, or what you would call between a rock and a hard place. It's a place of oppression. Like, if you go to Oak Cliff, right, you get mugged. 2 weeks later, your homie's like, hey, man, you trying to go to the cliff? Are you about to go? Why? Because you just got mugged. You associate Oak Cliff, I got mugged. Israelites associate Egypt, slavery. Read that again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
How do we get here again? So I will send you to slavery again with ships. Who'd that happen to? So-called black man. But what is also not talked about a lot, it happened to the Hispanic man and the Native American man before it happened to us. We were all put on ships and went all around the world to serve people. Let's see what happens. Who these people are classified as. Read on.
By the whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So we're not going to see that type of bondage in the land of Egypt again. It's going to be a new Egypt. Read on.
And there ye should be sold unto your enemies.
What happened when we got off them boats? We were sold, right? And it says we were sold to our enemies. So the people we were sold to are our enemies, right? Who were we sold to? So-called white man. But it's not just them, because you have to remember, we went all around the world. We were sold to Africans, Asians, East Indians, all the people that had a hand in our slavery. Those are our enemies. Read on.
For bond men,
Slave man.
and bond women,
Slave woman.
and no man shall buy you.
When you go into the etymology of that word, buy means to redeem. No one's been able to redeem us out of this situation. Did Malcolm X redeem us? Marcus Garvey? Malcolm X? Louis Farrakhan? Nobody's done it, right? It's going to take something of divine nature to get us out of the predicament that we're in. Go down to 54 real quick. Let me show you something. And you get Deuteronomy 28, start at 60, not 64, yeah, 64, the curses. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, you said 54? 54. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
There was a point in time where we can just, there was a point in time where we can just go to each other. How you doing, brother? You good? You need some food? How you been? How's the family? But a lot of times we don't do that, right? How many times do you see a group of so-called blacks or Hispanics, or even you just walking up somewhere, you see a group of dudes or one dude, and y'all sizing each other up? Too often than not, right? We grew up like that. Why? Because our eyes evil towards our brother. Read on.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Is single parent households an issue in our community? So this is talking about niggas hating on niggas hating on so-called Hispanics and vice versa, and single parent households. Isn't that our people? That's a curse. You got what I want? The curses shall be upon. Yeah, let me see.
You want the curses shall be upon.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Curses shall be upon thee, but I want the verse before that.
Con, this is Deuteronomy 28, verse 63. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you.
Yeah, Salak, 45. Yeah, that's what I want. Salak, Salak. No, you good.
Con.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee. Right?
Go ahead.
And overtake thee till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Now, again, these are curses. So these are things we can see today, right? Here's the reason why. Go ahead.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So when we see these curses on these people, like this sign is telling you that they open. This sign tells you chocolate sweet dew. Signs tell you something, right? That way you can know, okay, I can't go down this street. I can't turn that way. This is to let you know this is a sign. These people are the Israelites. Read on.
And upon thy seed forever.
So it's going to be upon your seed, your children, your children's children. You are your father's child. That's why they're on our people right now. You got what I want, Isaiah? 42 and 22. 42 and 22, Baba Kushal.
Book of Isaiah chapter 42, verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Would you say the black, Hispanic, and Native man are robbed and spoiled, meaning they don't really have much? Go ahead.
They are all of them snared in holes.
You know what the word snare means? Not like the drum. It's an old English term for trap, basically. So you ever see like a cartoon where there's a rabbit running by, he goes over a rustle of leaves, and then he gets pulled up by a string? That's a snare. Wouldn't you say a liquor store in every corner, gun stores, and niggas on the block hustling drugs, doing what they can to survive in the hood? Wouldn't you say that's a trap for them? Especially when cops set up bait trucks when they're not supposed to. And then young people who don't have much, they see a truck, it's wide open, they go get it, and then here come the cops. It's a trap. And what all the rappers say they at? They in the what? They in the trap. Read on.
And they are hid in prison houses.
Who goes up to prison houses? So we feel black, Hispanic, and Native man. Get Revelations. Give me the devil 2 and 10. 2 and 10. Go ahead.
And they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivered. For a spoil, and none said restored.
Aren't we preyed upon in this society? How many times do we drive by a cop and we start sweating? Because we don't know if we about to pull over, and if we get pulled over, we don't know if we about to live or not. And no one's been able to restore us. We've been robbed and spoiled, everything taken away from us. And how is it that in the Bible this is talking about us? Because we are the people that the Bible speaks of. You got what I want? 2 and 9. Yeah, the devil shall cast you into prison. Go ahead.
Con, this is Revelations 2 and 10.
Who runs the prison system? So-called white man? Go ahead.
Con, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall...
The who?
The devil. The devil shall cast some of you into prison.
So the devil's going to cast some of us into prison. But we're not supposed to fear these things. Why? Because when we follow the laws, statutes, commandments, keep the faith in who the world ignorantly calls Christ, we shouldn't fear these things. So how does it feel to know that you're an Israelite? You want to know how God feels about it? In Deuteronomy 7:6. I'm going to show you how God feels about it, because that's what it's really up to right now, man. I'm going to show you how he feels. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Do you know what the word holy means? It means to be separate or set apart. So what's being said here is you are set apart unto the Most High. Read on.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
So he separated you because he chose you to be special to him. Read on.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Above all people. He separated you from all the nations on the earth. He chose you to be special to him. And because of that, you're above everybody on this earth. Isn't that a beautiful feeling? It's a beautiful feeling, man. Do you know that you are God? Like, do you know that? You know that's in the Bible? Give me Psalms 82 and 6. Whoever got it first. Go ahead.
Book of Psalms chapter 82 verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
You are God and you are a child of the Most High. Go ahead.
All right, let me bring that back around. This is Deuteronomy 14 and 1. It's 19. 14 and 1. Ye are the children of the Lord your God. Ye shall not cut yourselves, nor make any baldness upon your eyes for the dead.
There you go.
Hold on, let me keep that. Go ahead. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth.
There you go. Reiterating what was said earlier. Give me Amos 3. Now, one of the things, so slavery was bad, and we're still slaves to this day. We're still going through a systematic oppression. So again, like what was read earlier, Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Because we don't listen, we get those curses put upon us. Give me you give me that. No, you give me Amos 3. You give me that in Baruch. I had not destroyed thee. I want to say it's in, what's that? 3? 4. But there's a reason for that. Do you have any kids? Okay. But now, so as a child, you didn't listen to your parents. What happened? You got in trouble for it. The trouble consists of either, well, in the black Hispanic home, it's not really a timeout. It's getting your ass whooped. Am I right or wrong? But our parents didn't beat us because they hated us, right? They did it because we did something wrong and they wanted us to be corrected so we don't do it again. Same thing with the Most High.
This is Amos chapter 3 verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
This is the word he's speaking against you. Read on.
Against the whole families which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, ye only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So he's only going to punish the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Just like how many times you been out with your friends, y'all doing something y'all ain't supposed to do, and your mama come out and she yelling at you in front of them. You're like, but what about them? I don't give a damn about them. You my child. Same thing. You don't give a damn about no one else. You his child. So he's going to punish you and our people for what we did. You got what I want? Go ahead.
Luke chapter 4 and 5. Be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Ye were sold to the nations.
We were sold to the nations. We've been sold to the nations. Read on.
Not for your destruction,
Not because he wanted to destroy us, but for what?
but because you moved God to wrath.
We made God. We made our heavenly Father mad. Read on.
You were delivered unto the enemies. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils,
Right.
and not to God.
So that's us going into idolatry, worshiping other idols, going into religious practices that aren't our own. The Most High God is our God. We need to worship Him. Read.
Ye have forgotten the everlasting God that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you.
Is that it on that?
No, this move.
Go ahead.
For when she saw the wrath of God coming upon you, she said, Hearken, O ye that dwell about Zion. God hath brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them.
There you go. Give me. I want to say this. It's in root 3. Suffer patiently. Suffer patiently. Because that's what we need to do out here. That we just need to be patient. We taking an ass whooping. We deserve it. We didn't want to listen to the Most High. Curses got put upon us. That's why we in this predicament to this day. You got it? Go ahead. I'm gonna say it's 3. Suffer patiently. Root 3. Who got it? Whoever got it. Why they getting that? How you feel about this information so far? It's true, right? It's true. See? Now you said you never heard this before, right? See, I told you. I was gonna tell you the best information that you would know. But honestly, it's really not of me, it's of the Most High. You walked over here and you actually stopped and listened. Let me see. Let me get, you got it? Or here, you get Isaiah 30 and 20. I want to say it's either in 3 or it's in 4. Suffer patiently. But let me show you why you came over here, King. Because a lot of our people, they just walk on by. They don't want to listen. They don't want to be told that they're God. They don't want to be told that they the best people on this earth, and that we need to come back to these laws, statutes, commandments, stop doing drugs, stop killing each other, and start loving one another so we can heal. We have an issue with forgiving people who afflict us versus forgiving ourselves first. That's a huge issue. So a black dude come scuff up somebody J's, they fighting now. White man come up and do it. It's cool, man. Just go on ahead. That's an issue. That's just a huge issue. You got it? You got it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Baruch chapter 4 and 25.
But don't let it be in vain. We are getting afflicted right now because we didn't listen. But we gotta be patient with that affliction. Read on.
My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from God.
So we have to suffer patiently the wrath. We've done been through some shit. We've been sold into other nations. They done raped, robbed, and murdered us. Now we're still being killed every 28 hours. We get it caught on camera, and the people who kill us still get off. But we have to suffer patiently. Read on.
For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck.
So if we suffer patiently, there's going to be a time and a place where we're among those people that we get to see the downfall of the people who afflict us. And we get to come up to a ruling class. You got what I want? 30 and 20. 30 and 20. Like teachers. And you gotta... Go ahead. Let me show you why he came up and actually came up to listen. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction.
So even though we go through these hard times, some of us may have it better off than others, but we still have those times where we're in a tight spot, where we need to, do something, or we feeling down. But then we come back up. That's the Most High having mercy. Read on.
Yet shall thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
There was a point in time you didn't see young men out here teaching the Bible. You didn't see that. There was a point in time where we couldn't even read. If we read, what they do, they kill us. So the people who knew this, who could teach our people this and build them up and make them noble, make them aristocrats, make sure that they know that they're kings and princesses on this earth. There's a point in time you didn't see that, but now we can see that. Read on.
But thy eyes shall see thy teachers, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it.
So you sitting there walking by, hey brother, come over here. You look, you had two options. You could have kept on walking, but you stopped and you came over. That's that word behind your ear saying, get it over there. Go see what those brothers are saying. Read on.
When ye turn to the right, and when you turn to the right hand, And when you turn to the left,
So you, like I said, you had a choice, but you chose to come over here and listen to the word of the Most High. How you feel about that, King? Like, how do you feel knowing that you're a king on this earth and that it's solidified in the Bible? How do you feel about that? She tells you that all the time? Get this sister a hand, man. She trying to tell you something good, bro. She trying to tell you something good. So what you need to do, give me 1 Kings 2:2. I'm gonna show you something. Now, a lot of times, you know, our parents, especially our fathers, there's an issue. There's a discrimination against black men, Hispanic men, and Native men. We've been, because of slavery and what has happened to us, a lot of our men are taught to grow up and be effeminate, be submissive to another man, but be physically strong. That's what was going on during the time of slavery. That's that Willie Lynch doctrine. And even now, our men can't even be men, or it's looked at as there's such a thing as hypermasculinity. For you acting like a man now, it's an issue. It's because our people don't know how to be a man yet. So these guys right here in these bikes, right? They believe themselves to be men because they can ride on a Harley and make a lot of noise and play loud music. But these are men of our older generation. They try to tell our young men, y'all don't know how to be men, y'all ain't manly. They'll tell you this, that, and the third, but they themselves, they don't know how to be men. Let me show you what it means to be a man. Go ahead.
This is 1 Kings 2:2. And keep the hold on. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong therefore, and shew thyself a man.
This is David talking to his son Solomon. He's about to tell him how to show himself to be a man.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways,
Right.
to keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments and his testimonies.
So we need to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's how a man be's a man. When you can keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know how to deal with your brother. You know how to do group economics. You know how to treat your woman right. You know how to go about society and conduct yourself as an aristocrat and a noble. You get wisdom when you keep these laws, statutes. Get Deuteronomy 4:5. That's how we get wisdom out here. Read on.
And his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses,
Read on.
that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
So when we keep these laws, statutes, commandments, we unstoppable. We gonna prosper in everything that we do, wherever we go. That's how we show ourselves to be men. You got that? And when we do that, we obtain wisdom. Are our people looked at as a wise and understanding people? They not, right? Let me show you why. Go ahead.
the book of Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land where ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom.
What?
This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations,
Right.
which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
And they don't say that about us because we don't do this collectively. So when we keep these laws, statutes, commandments, we obtain wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and then we won't be looked at as the basis of men. Get Wisdom of Solomon 7, and I believe the 24th, 25th verse. You give me Ezekiel 37, and it's either 9 or 10. But I'm gonna show you what that does. When wisdom is like unto a fine woman. Now I'm assuming this is your lady. So what all these brothers here know, we all got women at the house. They not our first woman, unfortunately. When you make wisdom your first lady, you're gonna do beautiful things. Understand that. So don't take no offense, but he need to make wisdom his first lady. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of her, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be all rough and ragged for a woman. You're gonna present yourself as a man, right? And how do you do that as a man? Keep the laws, statutes, commandments. Let me see. 25. That's what I want. 25. Give me that in Ezekiel. So when we have wisdom, it's when we come alive. Right now, what you're seeing, you ever heard the story of, not the story, but the phrase, Valley of the Dry Bones? You ever heard that terminology before? So quick crash course. In Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, it talks about the Valley of the Dry Bones. What that is blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, or Israelites who are void of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They're dead out here. They don't have life anymore. But there's a reason why they don't have it. Give me that.
It's Ezekiel 37 and 9.
It's a lot. Let me show you what is going to give them life. Give me that. Wisdom of Solomon 7:25.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 25. For she is the breath of the power of God.
Salah, go start at 24. Salah.
For wisdom is more moving than any motion. She passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of God.
She is the what?
The breath of the power of God.
When you have breath, you're alive. She's more moving than anything. This is what is going to bring our people back to life. Read on.
And a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her.
So just like a scrub ain't gonna get a woman. It's like, scrub, get your ass away from me. You gotta present yourself to be a man. How you do that is keeping these laws, statutes, commandments. Is how you get wisdom. And again, that's that breath of life. Let me show you what that breath does. Now give me Ezekiel.
Ezekiel 37, verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man.
That's a lot. Start at 9.
This is verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live.
And that breath is wisdom. And the slain is the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who don't know that they Israelites, who don't keep the laws, statutes, commandments, or faith in who the world calls Christ. Read on.
So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them.
And the breath came into them. That's what we're doing right now. We're giving that breath unto you. Read on.
And they lived.
And they lived. Is more than that?
Yeah. And stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
And that's what's going to happen, man. When we stand up, they what? They fall. Understand that. How you feel about that, King? You feel good? Let me give you one more. Give me the conclusion of the whole matter. I'm gonna end it with that. I'm gonna show you what all this is for. And also, is this guy Jesus? Just real quick. He's not, right? His name is SICARRI Borgia. Can you do me a quick favor? Step on this man. Step on him, bro. Crip walk on him if you got to, man. Woo walk on him, man. That's right, man. That's right. This ain't nothing but a devil that has oppressed our people, man. That's all he is. You got what I want? Go ahead.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
And that's the whole duty of man. We got to fear God, keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and faith in who the world ignorantly calls Christ. You know who the world calls Christ? Look like you, right? Dark skin, woolly hair. You heard that before? All praises. Now, just on a quick tidbit, his name's not Jesus Christ. His real name, which is in the Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. The Father's name is Yahweh. Those names are sacred. You don't give that name to anyone. That's straight power right there. You don't want to give your power to anyone else, all right? All right, but you have a good one, King, all right? All praises, man. Give the Most High a hand, man. Give the Most High a hand. That's all we wanted to talk to our people, man. But with that, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh.
SICARRI.
We are the children of the one Yahweh.
The chosen.
Ye are the chosen of the one Yahweh. And he has given his laws to us. Now everything belongs to us.
Shalom, what's going on? It's your brother Chief Priest Alazar Lawyer, aka the Guerrilla Hebrew, and I'm just letting y'all know I just dropped my official clothing line, Urban Guerrilla. Go to urbangorilla.com right now to check us out, man, and pick something up. There's urbngrla.com. We got all kind of items for men, women, children, even infants, as well as fragrance oil, smell goods. You can also check out Hebrew Israelite Clothing Co., another SICARRI business, on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, you can hit up deaconsicari.com to get your plug on the scarves, the music, and the children's Bibles. Thanks for your time. All praise to the Most High. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.